BetOnline is your number one source for all your summer sports this season, from MLB, golf, NBA, and NHL playoff stats. All the latest stats, news, and scores are available to you to follow your favorite teams. So get the latest odds and lines, including the latest team matchups, player props, and odds on just about every sport out there. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to get in the action. BetOnline, where the game starts. Did you guys watch Raw?
Yep.
Okay, so let me get into this. So they start off with the.
Well, let me real quick. Yeah, sorry about that. No, I just wanted to say no quarter hours yet for both shows for some reason, but 1.619 viewers, which was just down 4% from the previous week.
So the Judgment Day comes out, and Priest said the fans love Jey Uso. It didn't matter if he's still the world champion. Priest was still upset about Balor and McDonough interfering in his match. Said it over 100 times. Balor said they've been over it 100 times and they are sorry. Priest said he lost his cold for the match, apologized to Balor and McDonough, and Priest apologized to them, saying he appreciates McDonough and labeled Balor as his brother. And they had a group hug. And Balor assumed he'd get a bye in the first round of the tournament because he announced that Drew McIntyre was hurt in the King of the Ring tournament. So he was excited, but then Adam Pearce came out and said, no, you're not getting a bye because you're going to be wrestling Jey Uso. What'd you think of this promo segment? It was kind of just like, there wasn't any heat. It was just like they were kind of like telling the story, I guess, that they're all happy for each other still. And I don't know. It was kind of a weird flex on their characters. What'd you think of this?
Well, I think the main thing here was when you thought there might be some dissension because he was pushing him around after he won on the pay-per-view, because I was like, why is he pushing him like that? You know, yeah, okay, so they came out and they tried to help him, but why is he acting like a babyface kind of? And then here, where you thought there was going to be more dissension, they gave us a swerve and he actually apologized, which I liked. Yeah. You know, I think they actually probably said, we do so many, you know, oh no, he tried to come out. He came out during the match and tried to distract Jey. So
we'll get to that.
Okay.
Yeah, just the.
But I just thought that it was cool. It wasn't a great promo, but I did think it was cool that I thought there would be more dissension, and instead he was apologizing to everybody. So now it's kind of a slow burn, their dissension, which I kind of like.
So that was interesting. So then they go to the match. During the match, against Finn Balor, Drew McIntyre showed up,
right? Just
like the crowd. He's kind of like got this despondent look on his face. He had the elbow thing on, right? So he kind of distracted Balor, and then Jey got the win from him coming out. So after the match, McIntyre entered the ring, and Jey walked out, and they showed the updates for the brackets, right? So they go backstage, and Drew McIntyre barked at Adam Pearce about having Jey Uso replaced for the tournament. Now, this was good detail where, like, you know how we talk about, like, how you need to tell the details of the story to make it more interesting,
right? Or
to make hay. So they did the thing where Drew McIntyre barked at Pearce about having Jey Uso replacement tournament. And he said it wasn't about that. It's about your arm and not being medically cleared. He's like, I want to go out there and wrestle. Because, like, look, he's like, nobody knew anything about your elbow till you started complaining about it. So when you started complaining about it, we got to have you checked out by medical. And they didn't clear you. Don't blame us, blame yourself.
Very logical.
You know, right? So and he's like, that was good. So McIntyre got even more at that and got his car and drove out. And as he drove away, Punk drove up.
That was good. I like that. Yeah, you just missed him.
Yeah, right. Punk goes, you just missed. He goes, well, tell him to hit my music. I got something to say.
I liked all of that.
Right. So he goes straight to the ring, and he actually gave a fist bump to Chad Gable walking to the entranceway. And he came out and said he said he could do his promo in less than 5 minutes and 46 seconds last week, but this week he's going to go over, he thinks. And basically, bro, this was like on audio.
Well, he said 5 minutes and 46 seconds because that's how long McIntyre was a champion.
He was a champion, but see, I'm going to go over this week. I went under last week, I'm going to go over this week. So he basically Punk ripped him apart, called him a choke artist. And he said, looked at his watch and said McIntyre fears him. And he looked in the camera and said he would find McIntyre even if he makes it to Glasgow, Scotland. And Punk took a seat in the top turnbuckle and looked at his watch. So it's just a long promo for burying Drew. What'd you think of this? I thought it was it went a little bit long.
What I think of this?
Hey, what did you think of this?
Well, I thought it was funny when McAfee goes, he just got yeeted in the mouth. Because I'm wondering if like a year ago when Vince was micromanaging language, if they would have been able to have said that.
Right.
Bro, the pop for Jey was incredible. I mean, incredible. And it has been.
Oh, Jey Uso. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. I thought that when he came out, McIntyre, I thought he was trying to distract Jey so Jey would lose. And I think that they do the distraction so much that when he came out, people thought, oh, Jay's going to get distracted and lose. But basically, he stayed focused and he hit like the spear, you know. So a little swerve there that I didn't expect. And then you continue the storyline, you know, with Jey and McIntyre and, you know.
Right. All right. So after what do you think of the Punk promo?
What do you think of it?
Kind of long. He just didn't really add much. Just he wants to fight him. Like they keep calling each other out, and they haven't had a physical confrontation yet, which they're leading up to.
Right. I just think this was all right. We don't have any. There's not going to be a match. Just get on the mic and just continue to, you know, the storyline, right?
Right.
I was surprised when Punk brought up Gordie Howe that people remembered him and popped.
Right.
But then again, how many stars has Hartford, Connecticut had, right? Let me see. You know, and he was in there saying, I'm going to stay into the ring until you come back. And he actually left. Yeah. You know, I would have actually had him come back, you know,
right,
and bum rush him and do something. And then he called him a choke artist, and he goes, not like I'm a choke artist, right, Pat? You know, so that was a dig at Jungle Boy. It was all right. Wasn't great, but it's hard to hit a home run every time, bro.
Right. Oh, by the way, what did you think of CM Punk's promo?
Yeah, I think I said it yesterday. It was all right. Nothing special. I just think they were trying to fill in time because they weren't going to wrestle, and they know Punk's always good on the mic. Nothing out of the ordinary. Just when I see you, I'm going to break your face. You know, that's basically all he was saying, you know. He said, I'm going to wait for you. I remember I said it yesterday. He goes, I'm going to be waiting for you. Kept looking at his clock. I'm still waiting. I wish McIntyre would have actually showed up, or just as he's walking backstage and he's maybe telling Pierce, you know what, I'm bouncing. I already said what I had to say. This guy isn't going to be here. And all of a sudden he showed up and attacked him. Cause I did like when McIntyre left and Punk arrived in his car like a few seconds later.
So once again, Punk's segment, highest rated thing on the show. Again.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, because people know he may say something controversial, and he's always good on the mic. And it's CM Punk. He's got his followers.
So Ricochet was interviewed backstage and talked about Ilja Dragunov, and then Braun Strowman interrupted and wished him luck. We had a Queen of the Ring tournament. Io Sky versus Natalya. There's no doubt who's going to win this because Damage Control is tough. And they, what do you call it? Damage Control goes over here. Io Sky. I mean, so afterwards they did a promo, and Kai said they took over 2 years ago, and now we're putting everyone on notice. She says he was standing for the injured and Asuka in a match against Lyra Valkyria. The fans give her the what treatment. Kai told Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill to enjoy the titles while they can. Any comment on that?
Which one?
Natalya versus Io.
Natalya versus Io?
Yes, Io Sky.
Yeah, it was good. Natalya is always in shape, looks good, you know, can still go, and but she never wins. They never take her seriously. Huh?
I didn't want to cut you off, but literally, it's funny. I think you could copy paste the same thing we've been saying about Natalya now for like almost 2 years.
Right, but I don't know why they do her like that.
I know. Well, the most interesting. I'm surprised they haven't done this yet. They got rid of Tamina. Her and Tamina, I thought, were pretty good value as a tactic, because that was the best thing they've done. But both of them.
Right. And Tamina was the first one that ever got anything out of Nia Jax. They were clobbering each other like it was like a street fight.
Right.
Like a Samoan street fight, too.
Right, because it's really not that bad of an idea. Because in the men's side, there are a decent amount of clear-cut tag teams. New Day, Street Profits, who are some of the other ones?
They got
that have been a tag team for a while, right? Okay, well, there's really not a lot of the female tag teams except this new one, Caden Carter and whatever, but none of the girls have been like a congruent tag team for a long period of time, which is why I thought you could have taken Natalya and Tamina and just kept them together and made them like a focal point of the tag team division where a lot of this stuff centers around the two of them because they can work.
Yeah, that is true. If when you look at it, all the tag teams, none of them were really long. Raquel Rodriguez with Raquel Rodriguez with, I think she was with Liv Morgan for a little while.
Yeah.
What's these girls' name? Nia Jackson, Liz Morgan, Nia Jackson, Shayna Baszler. Huh?
They always end up like fighting with each other.
Splitting up really, yeah. Yeah, there hasn't been one that stayed like for years.
Right. So let's get to the thing that I'm not even gonna be devil's advocate here. Ilja Dragunov versus Ricochet. Brian,
we talked about this.
No, we did not talk. You told me to watch it. Okay, I hadn't seen it yet. Right?
Okay.
You said you want to tell me what do I do?
All right. Okay.
They said I had a workout video of Dragunov beforehand, which, to be honest, it looked like an AEW workout video because that's all they do is AEW vignettes to show the guys working out, right? Which they did last night with Joe.
Right, with Samoa Joe.
Right, yeah, so we're always working out, right? So Brian Alvarez tweeted this match ruled.
What? Which one?
What was this one? Ilja Dragunov versus Ricochet. Bro,
it was good.
It was good. But it wasn't. This thing didn't stick out to me like some unbelievable display of full force like television. Man. I watched it from start to finish, and Dragunov has kind of like a unique style. Because he's smaller,
that's the best way of putting it. Yeah.
And he does have a very vicious looking finish. You know?
And great facials where he's mad and going kind of nuts and gets all red.
I'll question. I'm not. Sorry, Katie. That is kind of unique. However, I just hope he doesn't do that. That's like every match. Like he does, what I'm saying? Like it's almost.
He kind of does.
He does because that's a little bit over the top.
It is.
For every situation, every time. So what happens when you're really mad now? It's like
he uses really it for when he's really mad, kind of. It's about to go. It just got real. It's almost like when Lawler would put down his straps.
Right.
Like it got real.
Right. But this guy might grow on me, but he hadn't really done much to impress me yet.
Right. Well, he just got there. You don't watch NXT.
I'm not burying him. I'm just saying, it's because his work is solid.
He is good. He is good. He is different. He is unique. My only problem with him is he's undersized, and I always get afraid when somebody's undersized because you got to be 2 to 3 times as good as everybody else.
I was just thinking about this. So this guy's gimmick, he's undersized, but he gets really mad, right?
Right.
Very similar to the gimmick that Pete Dunne was doing when he came in, right? Bro, if Pete Dunne started doing that again, and Ilja Dragunov, was saying, he's always mean, bro, you could keep these guys apart like 2 pit bulls on a leash, always try to fight again until they finally let him.
And the match would be incredible too. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You could actually build a little something here with those two doing that gimmick and and they just go and tear each other apart on TV.
Right.
People,
finally let the 2 pit bulls loose. Yeah,
right,
I agree.
Right. But he goes over, so they want to push him a little bit.
Want to bomb her?
Want to bomb her? It's not want to bomb her. It's want to bomb her.
I know, but he would always say want to bomb her. No, because he put it bomber, and I was going to put bomb her, but that's what it sounds like. You want to bomb her?
Right.
Yeah.
Sheamus is interviewed backstage, spoke about medical procedures, hyping his match with Gunther. Then we do I fast forward right through this. I apologize to all the fans of these two, but Zoe Stark beat Ivy Nile in 5 minutes and 20 seconds. I don't think there's much more.
They also showed a workout video of Zoe doing the.
They're literally stealing the ideas from the AEW now, right? So I'll be
Zoe.
That's lazy booking to me. It's like, okay, all right, there, she looks good. We got to show a video of her working out. It's like she obviously works out. That's what it's like. When I see videos like that, it's like,
you can tell she's strong too.
Right.
But she bro, she's a very good wrestler. She looks really kind of weird, I didn't even think she was American, but she is. But she just gets lost in the glamour and the other girls. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And she wrestled with that Ivy Nile.
Yeah.
Okay. I just thought that match. Did you see the match?
I told you, fast forward right.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you didn't miss. It was a little bit sloppy. They had chemistry issues.
Okay. I saw someone on the YouTube, and of course, this is rich coming from me, but Someone from the YouTube said they're sick of hearing Disco say, I missed this, it wasn't on Hulu. They said if it's not on Hulu, you find it on Twitter or YouTube and get back to them. That's what they said.
Man, this from a guy that doesn't watch the shows.
It wasn't for me. I'm representing you.
Throwing it to you.
Unfortunately, okay, tell these people that this is when I'm reviewing these shows, I'm reviewing them as I'm watching them because you can understand my viewing patterns based on how well the product is interesting me at a time. So exactly. If people are not interested in me, I'm telling you, I'm fast forwarding, and I'm probably not the only one doing that. Is the whole point? It's like
it's a case study.
Don't have interest. You can probably look at the ratings, and I miss something that everybody else is probably turning out too. So it's a decent gauge of viewership, to be honest with you. So this didn't make it to YouTube. It sounds funny. Our truth was with Adam Pearce when then Dan Hurley, the UConn men's basketball coach.
This was not funny.
Okay, well, they shook hands and said they could not fight the Huskies basketball team. True said the Huskies belonged to a small independent known as the NCAA, admitted that he needed to talk with Truth, and then they all made their exit. So that line wasn't that funny line?
No. And so here's the thing with Truth. He's those guys, and there's, we know a lot of guys in the business that can do this, that you can give him just about anything and he'll make it better. This wasn't one of those times. Hurley looked out of place. He looked like he didn't know what he was doing. The timing was kind of off. If you know about the NCAA and how many people know about that are watching this show, you can kind of get that joke, but it wasn't that good.
Right. So next, Braun Breaker shows up in the office and Pierce. He's mad about not being the king of the ring, and Pierce kind of pulls him aside and says, we'll talk. Finn Balor says he feels like he's apologizing every week, and Damian Priest told him not to worry about losing one match. Dominic Mysterio showed up with Carlito. Priest said it was 1 year ago that Carlito cost him his moment in Puerto Rico against Bad Bunny. Carlito tried to play it off and said it was in the past, and Carlito got serious and said he needed their help with the LWO. Priest told Dom to get Carlito out of there. Dom told Carlito they would come around. I'll be honest. Carlito, they fed him lines or gave him very short scripted stuff here that he didn't sound very comfortable saying. This was not one of their better backstage vignettes. Because I didn't really like, Pierce was saying, they're apologizing. Pierce said, no, we'll do good. This sounds like babyface stuff, Adam, Yeah. What'd you think of this?
I would agree with everything you said. Yeah.
Priest could have.
First of all, Carlito's very charismatic and can talk. Okay. If him and Priest would have talked a little bit in Spanish and then a little bit of English, and then everybody kind of had to break them up, and there's a little tension there, and maybe, I don't know where they're going with this, but obviously he's telling Dominic, hey, bro, quit bringing people around here. First you brought Ron, now you're bringing Carlito. You're not asking for, that could be a little dissension with them, which somehow leads into Rhea with the Liv Morgan. So there's a lot of interesting coming up.
Gable versus Bronson Reed, very short. Sami Zayn comes in and attacks Gable in the match. No contest. After the match, Zayn cleared Reed from the ring with a clothesline, put Zayn down with a German suplex. Gable did. Gable charged Zayn, gave an exploder. Zayn went for a haluva kick, but Reed caught Zayn and hit him with the Uranagi, and Reed executed the same on Gable. So basically, this is 2 weeks in a row now that Reed has been on top here with the confrontation amongst these three.
Which probably means he'll lose a title match. But
right.
This is very well done, because it has logic that Sammy would run into the match and then nobody has to do the job. But bro, we've been saying this since last year. Gable, without a doubt, is one of the most underrated talents, and he reminds me a lot of Kurt Angle, like a broke man's Kurt Angle.
Right.
Bro, did you see that German suplex into a delayed bridge he did on Bronson Reed?
No, but no.
Bro, that is a thing of beauty. If you can find it, Joe, show it to Disco.
So, our girl, Lyra, how do you pronounce it? Joe,
Lyra Valkyria.
Yeah.
Lyra it's spelled Valkyria.
I think it's Valkyria. Valkyria, isn't it?
Valkyria? Okay.
Yeah.
Valkyria. All right, so they had
What'd I say? Valkyria?
So this
Valkyrie.
As generic a promo as she can cut. She said she's ready for the challenge, and then question whether Raw is ready for her.
Right.
Wow. Sounds like a little bit of... You're hearing some of these lines in these vignettes. Sounds like the booking after WrestleMania is getting a little bit on the lazy side. Would you agree with that?
A little bit. But, they gave us a great thing up to WrestleMania, so I'll give them a little pass.
Right. Well, you're introducing new characters. I like what they do with Carmelo Hayes, but this does nobody anything. If you're introducing new characters, you got to make them come across as a bigger deal than they are. And they're not treating them like they're a bigger deal.
Yeah, and a promo ain't going to do it unless they're a very good promo.
Gunther cuts a promo on Sheamus backstage. Cole brings out Becky Lynch and for her and talks about coming to Lynch 90 years ago. She talks about all the NXT call-ups. Cole brought up Lynch having strep throat when she lost to Ripley, and Lynch cut him off and said she wasn't used as an excuse.
Here's the
suplex.
Here's the move con I wanted you to see.
Look at this.
Jack Gable is going to happen. That's in the best place he's been.
Look at the power of Gable.
Really strong.
Yeah.
All right, so Becky, she said she wouldn't use that as an excuse, the strep throat. Liv Morgan comes out, took issue with Lynch about talking about the Kentucky Derby, the NXT call-ups, not mentioning her. She ran through her credentials, and Morgan said it blows her mind that she can't get respect from Lynch, and Morgan asked Lynch about the title match she was promised. Lynch said Morgan didn't let her finish and said she would get her title match at Queen of the Ring, and Lynch said that while Morgan ran through her accomplishments, they did not include beating her. Morgan conceded that she's yet to beat Lynch, but she said things are different now that she has a purpose. She said her purpose is getting revenge on Ripley by taking everything she loves. Then the Damage Control comes out, and they climb on the apron while Kai said they're there to remind everyone who runs Raw. Then Lynch and Morgan squared up to fight the Damage Control, but Morgan rolled to ringside at last, and the Damage Control worked over Lynch, and then Lyra Valkyria ran out and helped her cleared in front of the ring.
Yeah, and the crowd went mild when she came out.
They don't know it, right?
Right.
No.
So why are you putting in there in that position? So
okay. Go ahead.
I just thought that Liv Morgan has been somebody to me that was pushed down my throat when she had the title. I thought she didn't come off as a champion and they gave her the title too soon. And then they tried to make her like this crazy chick, which I was not buying at all. But this Liv Morgan is very, very entertaining, bro. She's very competent, good on the mic, comes off and I love the fact that she was in the middle of the ring and it looked like her and Becky were going to have to be partners for a few minutes so they wouldn't get attacked. And she rolled out and left her alone. What a great heel move.
Right.
And
so do you agree with Jared Aviat that she's a good heel?
Well, here's the thing with Jared Aviat. He guessed this about a year ago or 2 years ago. How long ago? Well over a year ago. And it's been so long since this happened that now it's making him look right when he was wrong all along.
Right. So Sami Zayn basically says the issues with Reed and Gable have to come to a three-way. Lyra Valkyria in a against Dakota Kai, who took the kick in Osprey's place. And she beats her clean. Valkyria goes over.
All right. Well, it showed you what they
over the leader of the Damage Control and clean in the ring. So I was like, all right.
It probably showed you what they think of Dakota. Same thing. I can't say same thing I do, not much, because they've had her there for a long time. But this was probably the best match Dakota's been in, but still this was another choppy match where there was some chemistry issues. And now it just shows you how different somebody at the helm can do things differently. If you remember before, if you came from NXT, you were doing jobs for a while, because how are you going to come to the main roster and be the star? And now they're doing it all the time.
Okay, so next is so Kofi's going to be wrestling Rey Mysterio on
I think Raw, right?
No,
a house show.
All right. So they kind of promo on it. He's talking about wanting to be the king of the ring. Says as much as he respects Rey, he has to put him down unapologetically as if his name were Kendrick Lamar or Drake. How many Kendrick Lamar and Drake references have been made on wrestling since their beef show? Like every single
Not just wrestling.
They'll do that.
Every show, dude.
Everything is making a reference to that. Like,
you listen to The Daily Show, you listen to Bill Maher, you listen to...
Everybody has to reference it. I want to see a show where it's like a wrestling show. The first wrestling show going forward that's not referencing Kendrick Lamar or Drake.
Oh, they even did it on AEW. Remember? Didn't Swerve say something? Yeah.
Yes. Everybody. So we do Gunther versus Sheamus. They have their typical, you've seen this before, but it's still very entertaining.
Very physical.
Beating each other.
Right.
And he tapped him out, Sheamus, and which I thought was interesting because it just brought Sheamus back and was like a Boston Crab. I thought.
Yeah, but wasn't he working on his knee most of the match?
And then he finally tapped out, right? Right. That was it. No post match or anything. So they're just promoting. Whenever tournaments come around, I really couldn't care less who wins them. So it's kind of like a lot of filler TV, unless there's like some personal angles going on, which they haven't really done too much of, because not a lot of these guys have personal angles with each other. it's kind of weird because I would have thought you would put like Gable and Shammy in there. You know, like you something guys that have issues, so then when they can meet, you're looking ahead of, hey, we're coming together to have the presence.
Right. Guys that have issues, put them in the tournament, so it's interesting and there's a backstory.
Other than who goes forward in bracket, right? You know, right?
Yeah, like I'll give Vince Russo his flowers here. You know, they've been doing it for years, but they used to have to do the King of the Ring tournament on TV and then the semifinals on pay-per-view and whatnot. And in '98, you know, when Vince was still there, the finals was Rock and Shamrock, which tied them up because they've been feuding all year. But even throughout in the semifinals, if they threw Owen Hart against Dan Severn, they had an angle prior to that. He threw The Rock and Triple H in there as the two up and comer guys. Yeah, there was all kinds in like every King of the Ring match back then.
Right. So Raw was like so for me. So whatever. You got any comment on it?
I want to see what happens at the Judgment Day because obviously it's weird. There's dissension, and at the same time, you've got this guy trying to keep them together, Priest. But we know something's going to happen with Rhea and Dominic, probably because of Liv. There might have something with Dominic and Priest because he keeps bringing people into the dressing room, and he's losing most of his matches. You know, you can tell that they want to turn Rhea, and that's smart. That's what's smart. When you do a faction, if you can make stars out of that faction, you've done your job.
Right.
So they've made 3: Priest, Dominic, and Rhea.
So that's been our Raw review.
Boom. Yo, what's up? I just want to thank you guys for watching this clip. Don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And join our YouTube membership for hours and hours of exclusive, unedited, uncensored content. And being a member will help you get involved in our upcoming live streams. Thank you for your support. Thank you for riding with us. I know you got a lot of other podcast choices, be it wrestling or other ones. And thank you for picking us. Boom.